Hi guys. So I'm all zoomed out and you can see my messy mess here. Oops, sorry. Hit my table, hit my light. Let me zoom back in. And let me talk to you guys a little bit here. I previously had said I was going to tell you about this section down here at pattern-collections.com. Oops, I'm not on the home page. That's the pattern focus page. On the home page, when you scroll down to the go-to pattern, let me get you a little closer. You will find this journey. It's sort of a journey of discovery. It has 7 strings per week and a focus on a particular pattern or type of pattern every single week, so that your go-to library, which is your tangles that you do, that you don't have to think about. You don't have to go look them up. You don't have to, they just come to you as it was. Pattern library part 1. The go-to part 1 is the introduction. And we discovered and we explored the pattern called Shattuck. I don't know if you can see that on there. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so we explored Shattuck. And then on part 2, we explored ropes and ropes fill. And we played with different patterns. In week 3, we explored Carpet Daisy. Okay. In week 4, we explored Paradox. In week 5, we explored W2 and Huggins because they're very similar patterns. One is done with straight lines, one is done with curved lines, but they're basically the same. And then in week 6, we explored what was called patterns that extrude. Ones that kind of poke out. And this was just a sample of the various patterns that kind of poke out. I actually like poke leaf and poke root also. That's already been in my go-to. But we explored those patterns. It started out as a do one pattern for the whole week. And it has sort of morphed into doing more than one pattern, but adding it to your patterns you already have in your head. So, for example, in part 1, let me go into part 1. We talked about patterns that were common to most people in their pattern library that are like go-to patterns, like Tipple, like Printemps, like Diva Dance, like Crescent Moon. Those are just some of them, but they're the ones that you go to all the time. For me, Cadent is on that list, various other things. And, you know, it's really long, so I'm not going to, you know, read the whole thing to you. You guys go to the page and read it yourself. But this is Shattuck, and this is where we practice that in various ways, either in straights or in curves for the whole week. And there were strings to go along with it. These were the strings. Every day there was a string. Okay. So, I've been kind of doing this. This is what I've been doing at church instead of doing in my regular journal. We're up to week 7. And we're working on the barrel roll technique. And then it does show that Ina already has plans. I don't know how long this journey is going to be. It may peter out at one point, but at this moment, she has more plans for part 8 that begins on the 20th and part 9 that begins on the 27th. So for sure we're doing this through the month of May. But you can start at any time. You don't have to have started at the time that the whole thing started. You can go back and start with part 1, and it's not really a challenge, it's a journey. So start with part 1 and follow along. And if you can't do every string each day, do what you can and just continue to follow through the journey. That's the important part, is that you follow through and don't, after you do the first one and you understand the journey, you could skip to a different one. You could maybe not do week 2 and go into week 3 or whatever, but I'm finding the journey to be very important, to just continue one by one and go through the journey. So at this point, I'm not currently working in part 7 because I haven't gotten there yet. I am still working in part 6, and I just wanted to show you where I am and a little bit about my journey so far in this. Let's see. Sorry, I didn't get uberly organized. Here's one that at the end of week 5, this was string number 7, and I did W2, and it's sort of a basket weave thing is what it turns out to be, and that's what I drew. And then I went on to week 6 on string number 1, and that was I used poke root and a little bunzo. So I'm combining my some of my go-to patterns, bunzo is one of them, with the extrude patterns. I just noticed I didn't blend this one. There we go. Bugged me. So that's what I'm doing. I'm actually in the middle of this one. I got interrupted. Oh, there's week 6, string 2. And this is sort of like a poke leaf type of a thing, or a heart leaf. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but that's what came out of me. And I'm putting this information, this week string, this stuff in pencil along the edge, because when I'm all done and I take my pictures for posterity and for saving, I'm going to go back and erase all this. So then it's just a tile. I don't really want all this information on these particular ones, so that's why I'm doing it this way. This is where I was at when it was time to leave church. So that's where I'm going to continue. I have actually drawn out, see, that's week 6, string 3. Here's week 6, string 4. You probably can't see them very well because week 6, string 5. Week 6, string 6, looks like that. String 7 looks like that, and then week 7. There's week 7, string 1 is going to look like this. String 2 is going to look like that. String 3 and string 4. String 5. Here it is. String 6. String 7. And this one happens to have a string 8 because, oops, because if you are in the group, there was a lady, her name is Barb, and she puts all the strings on one larger, like 8x10 piece of paper, puts them all on that one piece of paper and makes one large journey page instead of doing tiles. And so in order for it to line up nice, Ina actually did, for that week, 8 of them. Let me show you that on on the site, this one. It's going. Part 7. There's barrel roll and double barrel, and I'm not gonna go through the step outs. I just want you to see there's some ways to use barrel in various patterns. There's the barrel technique, and then there's the different strings. And she did it that way on purpose because she did the strings actually, I don't know if you can see it. You probably can't. Pretty light. But she actually did this is 4 tiles, and she did 1 string across the 4 tiles so they line up. Same with this one. And that's an interesting way to do a string, because then you can put your tiles together in a frame and they would all line up, which is fascinating to me. Another reason why I might not, you know, put the whole, I don't want the pencil stuff, the title and everything around the edge of this one. So I'm using Lumpy here as and then this one, I don't remember the name of it. That's one of the things is there are so many different patterns and so many different names and things that, you know, sometimes you just don't remember them. You just don't. Let's see. Where was I going? I was going here. I want to add something else to this over here in this corner and this corner, but I'm not exactly sure what I want to add to that corner. I'm thinking I should probably use one of my go-to patterns. And so, you know, I think I might just put Carpet Daisy in here. Looks like a bush. I'm gonna do Carpet Daisy on that side, and then I'm gonna maybe add some Shattuck, now that I was talking about Shattuck. Because after that week of doing Shattuck every day on 7 different tiles in 7 different ways, I now have it in my go-to library in my head. So this is not really a drawing a specific tangle video. It's just, I mostly did it so that you guys could see that go-to pattern journey and where to find it. on the website. Remember, it's pattern-collections.com. And, you know, like I said, start with number 1. Work your way through the journey. And, you know, if you make one drawing every day, it will take you on, I'm on week 6. The group is on week 7, and it will take you 7 weeks. So don't feel bad if you're way behind because you didn't start on the first day. It's fine. I want to erase a lot of this string business here. You know me, I like to erase my string when I go on toward shading. Oh, the poor little dog next door is just sad. Poor thing. Okay. I guess tomorrow we're taking my husband's car into the shop. That will be fun. I just got a text from him. Or a message or something. I saw it. Where did I saw it? Right there. Oh, I guess we're not taking it in tomorrow. Alright, that's what the text says. The text says that the mechanic doesn't have time to look at the car until next week on Wednesday. So, alrighty. It's doing all sorts of weird things. First thing, it was not starting. It would sometimes start and sometimes not start. That's not a good thing. And then the other day we were coming home and it was running. It was working fine. We pulled up to the house and all of a sudden all of his dashboard lights. He's got a car that has the electronic dashboard, you know, so all of the instrumentation, the speedometer and everything is all digital. Yeah, that all disappeared. It all turned off. All the lights on the radio and everything. Radio was still on and playing, but there was no lights. So that was no good. And then he said this week, because we had a bit of a rainstorm, that the windshield wipers now sound like a blender, really loud. They work fine, but they're really, really loud. So, yeah, there's all sorts of things wrong with his car. So I guess we're going to take that in sometime next week. What do I want to do here? I want to do this. There. piece needs some sort of shading. Maybe here. There we go. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. I'm going to look up one of these other extruding patterns because I'm not 100% familiar with them all. Let me look up. Look up that one. Go. Okay. All right, so I finished that one. I'm gonna move on. Let's see, how long is that video? I think I'm going to stop this one and then do another, because this one's long enough for now. It's not really a whole video for that, but I'm going to stop that one and do something else. Yeah, I'm going to figure this out. I'll be back on another video sometime. You know what? I feel like, I don't even feel like doing these. I'm feeling like working some more on my distressed tiles. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Next one up is going to be a distressed tile. All right. See you guys later. Bye-bye.